so excited, you all, today to have my special pop-up guest on my I Love Learning podcast. Today, I have your very one and only that you have to know and you have to follow all of his channels and all of his goodness and his Instagram, and we'll post everything. But I'm going to bring Jerry Curl on, and if you don't know Jerry, today you're going to meet him. Jerry.
How you doing, Gina?
I am so good. I am like super excited to have this special pop-up today. So let's get right to it, Jerry.
Oh,
What's going
dive in, girl.
on? Let's do
Dive
it.
in. Yeah, I have a great passion for the industry, and I love professional drivers. You know that. I got goosebumps already. I love these
Oh,
men and women that do it. I'm telling you, I've been doing it for 45 years, and I'm going to do another 45. I'm telling you,
oh.
I love what you're doing, and that's why we do this, and we're gonna do a lot of them. We're gonna change this industry, I guarantee you.
I'm telling
So
you. So let me tell you this. So yesterday I was in DC and I was in the Women in Motion group, and there was a bunch of women and a bunch of female drivers there trying to make a difference and bring this industry forward. And why are you so passionate about this? Like these women, it's like they're doing it to leave their legacy, to really pave the way to the future. Why is this so important?
I think you speak my language, because a lot of people driving these trucks are leaving a legacy for their families. Not this is their passion, their livelihood. They know one thing: driving that truck. And they love what they're doing. They're fulfilling their lifelong dream, doing it every day, seeing the country, doing what they want to do. They don't want to be in an office. They don't want to be in a factory. They want to be out what they're doing. But I think over the years, this industry has become too much negativity, and we let the lifestyle for these drivers go by the wayside. We have to bring this realness back in, and listen to them women. They need that. They want that. And I'm here to help them. I want to be the one to bring that change, and me and you are going to do it. I guarantee
I
you.
love that. It's
And
so important.
it's we were talking before you hit record. It's the mental and physical bearing on these drivers that's so hard, and that's why I called you right away. I was like, Gina, we got to do something. They're burning up my phone, they're hitting my email. It's the mental battle on the road. And when we see people get healthy, we see the number on the scale get smaller, or wow, you look great. But what they don't see is the change in the mental mindset. And your book is spot on in this. And I tell everybody, if she's not giving you the book, I'm going to give you the book, because you need to, because our minds are our minds are our weapon. We
Mm.
need to weaponize our minds to get through this industry, because I want to change people's approach thinking, silence that negativity, bring in that positivity. And you know me, I'm going to bring in the positivity. And I love people. I love helping people. And you're the same way. And
Yes.
that's why we connect so well. And, I want the women of this industry and the men in the industry to know that I'm coming to do a bunch of this stuff. And I had a call with my coach earlier today. This is what we're going to do, Jerry. I want a 6-month plan, and I'm doing
Mm.
it. And we're going to develop something, and we're going to make it roll.
I
And
love that.
we have to do it, because they're saying, well, how do I handle this stress? I'm behind the windshield, and I still got the problems at home.
Mm.
Just because they get in or out of that cab doesn't mean life don't stop. And you're the perfect person to help us walk through that. I tell everybody, you got to silence that noise. We've got to deal with it. We've got to tackle that, and that's what I want to do, because it's not about the physical transformation. It is. Don't get me wrong, but that's kind of the payoff for what the mental
Well,
education went.
right. And Jerry, the thing is, and you see this, I don't really know if you remember the show Biggest Loser, but like
Yeah.
people, people who are very overweight go on that show. And the reality is, some of them gain all the weight back, because the reality is you can make a physical change, but if you don't address what got you there in the first place, you're going to end up back there. And I think that's really important, because I talked about this yesterday at Women in Motion. Everyone has a true self. everyone has the seed of that inside of you, but your mind is what controls that. And so you really have the power within each of us to change. You can change the structure of your body. And in fact, you can change the structure of your brain. And it requires work. Just like getting up in the morning and going to work, this takes work. And so, what have you found, Jerry, to work to help with the mental side of this transformation?
It's the constant positive messaging.
Mm,
What I tell everybody, what goes in your ears goes in your brain, goes in your heart, cultivates that soil to grow a good crop. You have to choose what you're going to listen to and what you're going to let in. I've turned off all my channels, my TV, because I don't want the negativity. I choose
mm,
what I want to listen to. If I want to know the weather, I ask Alexa, give me the weather. I'm listening to rain, or I'm listening to a beach, or I'm listening to something, because I can tell you what's going to be on the news. It's going to be some sort of sadness, or yeah, and unfortunately, the industry that we are in and nowadays, when you don't value people's time, and when they lost that self-worth, like I said, where do they go? They go to negativity. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I don't see myself as a professional. And the statement in your book just resonates in me every day. People
mm.
rise to their belief, not their potential. When they believe they have no self-worth, that's how they're going to rise. You take them out of that environment, you give them into a rich environment. It's different. You don't grow a palm tree in Alaska, but you put that palm tree in Florida or down there. Guess what? It can withstand a hurricane. It's in the right environment. It's grown. It's strong, and it'll thrive. It will thrive in that environment.
Absolutely. And yesterday, in the group, and I do this a lot, I actually had someone call me today and say, Gina, last year you gave me, and I gave you one because you're a winner. You gave me a you're a winner sticker. And I still look at that. And that should be the visible side sign to interrupt that inner critic that each of us have. We all have that critic. It doesn't matter if you're
Yeah.
a CEO like me as a company, or you're a professional driver, or it doesn't matter what your profession is, everyone has that critic. And that critic is the most critical person or thing, and it's in our mind. It's not
Yes.
real. That critic that you hear doesn't have to be there. You have to let that sticker, you have to let that message of you're a
Yeah.
winner, you're worthy of it, you're enough. You have to have that interrupt you every single day, because the power of the negative voice is so powerful that you have to realize it's not your true self, right?
You're
So,
right. Yeah, I told somebody today, up here tells me what I think I need. The rest of it knows what it needs. And you know what
mm,
I put in my bathroom mirror? I've
mm,
made decals for my bathroom mirror. Every day I
I
brush my
love
teeth.
that. Yeah.
I'm made for more. I am going to change the world one person at a time, because it's your visual. When you see it, and you hear the same message all the time, what you focus on the most will become your reality. And
Mm,
when you said the CEO, we're each one of us is the CEO. We're the CEO of our own life.
mm,
And when you talk about that biggest loser, yeah, you need to change that mindset, because I was that guy. I always wanted to motivate and inspire people, but you
mm-hmm,
have to educate, motivate, and inspire people.
mm.
And I think that's where they missed the boat on it. And that's why, yeah, I want to say thank you for thanks for the Pelican. I got it. So thank you for putting this together right away, because this was like my emergency webinar. I'm like, hey, you want to do this with me? You're like, hey, let's do it. Then uh, I've been telling everybody all week, you got to go listen to this on the front line, because this is going to be one you don't want to miss, because we're going to come at it. And I want people to understand what you tell yourself, what you believe is where you're going to wind up. Your actions today are your future tomorrow. And I tell you, put it on a sticker. I had a guy call me today, and it just, I love it when they call me and say, Jerry, I haven't been this healthy in 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been listening to you for a few months, and I haven't been this healthy in 2 years. That's
Mm,
great. And you know what? They did the work, because like my coach said, you die dieting, you live with a new lifestyle. And I like that statement. You do. We're not going to go through life dieting. We're going to learn how to live healthier. And when we
mm,
when we mention that word mentally, I think a lot of people, especially men, shy away from it.
mm,
Mental. No,
Why do you think
you,
it is? Why is that, Jerry? Why is it that
I,
men, like when I'm presenting, they like sit there like this, like they're skeptical of this.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's just the bad term and the
Mm,
labeling that was placed over the years on mental health. How, it was, oh, you're bad if you need a mental health. But you know what? That you said it. You change your brain. Your brain is like
mm,
your muscle in your body. You better
mm,
work that brain like you do anything else.
mhm. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm doing my TEDx talk about it. I watched my mom's mind slowly fade away, her memory. She died,
Yeah,
she was 74. She wasn't that old. And it's because she spent more time consuming content than building connection with
yeah,
herself and with other people. She spent so much time playing brain games and puzzles that her doctor recommended, but really what she was missing was that connection. And it's horrifying to watch.
yeah,
And many people are doing this on their own. They're spending so much time on their screens. They're losing connection. We're losing ourselves. We truly
yeah.
are.
And that's where, you're right. We're looking out that windshield. I tell everybody set that GPS, but when they get that spare time, they're grabbing that phone.
Mhm.
When you got that spare time, call your family, FaceTime your
Mm.
family, FaceTime somebody. Don't get on Instagram, don't get on whatever, because I can put anything on there I want to. But I put on something. Hey, I love and appreciate you. I'm gonna tell you that every time because I love and appreciate. Without you, I don't have the shoes on my feet, the shirt on my back, or the food to nurture my soul. And that's the way I look
Mhm.
at it. You're not just a driver. You're the American hero every single day I get out of bed and have the things I need to survive. And I want you to see yourself that way. And I tell everybody,
Mhm.
put it on your dash. You know, you got sight with your eyes. I want you to have sight with your mind. Get a vision. Get a
Mm,
vision where you want
mm,
to be. I think that's worse than being blind. So
mm.
I don't
Absolutely.
get goals. I mean, we set our GPS and we can we can go through blazing snowstorms and rains and hurricanes to deliver that load on time. I want to do the same for ourselves because if we,
Um,
I know ATA says trucks move America. Well, they do. But you know what? Let's take it one step farther. Professional drivers move America. That truck's going nowhere without
mhm,
a driver, and
mhm,
we got to start taking care of the drivers. And I know
mhm,
it's important bringing drivers in, but we better start taking care of the ones we have now and built this
mhm.
industry what we have. So
Yeah, let's take care of each other.
yeah,
Everyone. I mean, I think that it's important, it's empowering, and our minds. I said this to them yesterday. Our minds are the captain of our soul. Your mind controls everything.
yeah,
Drop if you're listening to this, send a text to someone you've lost touch with. Tell them that you love them. Tell them you're thinking about them. Tell them how much you meant to them. That one moment can change someone's
oh
entire day. It can change your day. It can change your day because the dopamine and what you feel in that moment, but I guarantee it's going to change their day.
yeah. When somebody calls you and tell you you made my day, you watch how you feel differently, and then how the
Mm,
day changes for you after that, because the only thing that changed was your mind. It's still the same
absolutely.
86,400 seconds in that day. And I said that on my podcast.
Mhm.
I want everybody to reach out to three people because I do it every day. I write down.
Oh, I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
I'm gonna call three people a day I haven't talked to, and I'm just if
Mhm.
nothing else, I'm just gonna say hi. I love and appreciate you. I'm thinking of you today.
Oh, I love that. And here's the thing, Jerry, if anyone is listening, I just ordered, I don't know if you can see this.
Yep.
I just ordered hundreds of these because I want to send them out. So if anybody wants this to send to anybody, if you want to send someone, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. This is Nugget, a little bit of hope, love, and learning. If you'd like one of those stickers, you just message me on LinkedIn and I'll send it. You can give it to someone. Just give them away. Give people signs of love because at the end of the day, we have each other to lift us up. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to
No.
be in the truck alone. You don't have to be in your head alone. You can just reach out to Jerry. You can reach out to me. There's others in the industry that care, and we can help each other move forward. And yeah, a book, I'll give you a book. I'll give them away for free. Let's do this
Yeah.
because we can change lives.
We're gonna
Mm,
change. We're changing them. I tell you right now, we're changing them.
mhm,
I'm getting the calls, and we're gonna do it. And I want if you go out to tcsaleadership.com, I got a
Okay.
box. You can get daily messages from me now. Every morning at 5 a.m., you're going to get a positive message from me, and it's tailored to driving or some sort of the industry. And you're going to get them. And I'm going to put you on that list, Gina, and you're going to
I'm
start getting them.
on.
Okay,
I
you're
love
on. Okay,
that. I
perfect.
think I'm
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
if I'm not, put me on because
I
I want that.
I'd have to check with the boss at home.
All right. You check with the
uh,
boss. Jerry, leave us with some lasting words. With some lasting words today you want people to remember about our time together or time in the future with you.
it's going to be both. What you said is we have one another, and I want you to understand how precious life is.
Mm,
You have to cherish every second we have now, because you're going to come across two people in life. Them people, one of them people is going to be able, you're going to be able to change their life, or
mm,
that person's going to change your life.
mm,
But the person you actually think you're changing their life is actually changing your life.
mm,
We need connection, like you said. And of them people you talk to, remember this. Always remember, you could be the last person to ever speak to that person. You
mm.
never know what happens. You could be the last one to speak in it, or you could be like you said, you could be the one to change their life. And that happened to me last week. I was the last one to talk to one of our drivers, and you know, I I hung up. I told Bobby, I said, make me emotional. That was a tough one. I said he didn't sound too good, and I woke up at 1:30 in the morning from a dead sleep, and just like something happened, and I picked up my phone and I send audio messages now. Because I want you to hear my emotions, not words. I said, I love you, brother. We're gonna get through this together. Hang in there. We're tough.
Mm,
And it was at a time that he took a turn for the worse. And his wife's like, I don't know how you knew the timing. I said, God was talking to me then. You just don't
mm,
wake up in the middle of the night at 1:30 in the morning. I get up at 2:45 every day at 1:30. I'm sound asleep, I guarantee you. But I knew something wasn't right. And
mm.
I want people to understand people need people like you said. And you know what? And especially in this industry, we're all in the same boat together. Look out for one another. Shake their hands, smile. I worked down the truck stop all week. I seen the negativity. We got to turn it around. I said hi to good morning to everybody. Want to shake their hands, and I'm telling you, do that. We're all in the same boat. We're all traveling the same path on the highway. So
I love that, Jerry. Well, I love that. I mean, you're right. Just if you're mad at somebody, take the time and reach out to them. Life's too short.
yeah,
We got to come together, and I can appreciate that. And thank you for your number one, your beautiful heart. Thank you for standing up for drivers. I mean, that's why we're connected because you made an impression on me. Like you said, you have no idea who you're making an impression of, and you stood up and you said, why don't we call them professional drivers? And that, makes a difference. And so we're going to continue to do this and move people forward because it's real. This isn't marketing. This is real.
yeah. This is real. We're talking people's lives. This is life. This is
Right.
life, and we're gonna
Absolutely.
save lives. We're gonna save and change lives. So you betcha. This
I
is
love
great.
that.
I love
Awesome.
it
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jerry. Well, bye, Jerry.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Awesome. I love that. Thanks for joining us today.